Hello, welcome. This is the second part of how to increase their expressive vocabulary. Now, this activity is called Once Upon a Time. Now, this is usually how most children's books start, so that's why it's named after that. Making up stories is a great way to develop vocabulary as well as creativity and imagination. Using number one, like how you can use it, there are three ways you can use it. Number one, using a familiar story, something which they have heard many times. Okay, for the younger children, use a storybook that they have heard before, page through the story and take turns to tell the story on each page. Like, you go on, and what happens that, like, what Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Okay, they've heard the story many times. Then we turn the page and say Goldilocks is very sleepy and she goes to sleep. And what happens? Then you ask somebody else to tell you the story. You know, they, they will give their bits, and the bears come, and this happens and that happens. So let them continue like that. Hmm. Your child will remember some of the story from hearing it before and will use the pictures on the pages as clue. Using an unfamiliar story. Second, they don't know this story. Use a story with pictures that your child hasn't heard before and page through, taking turns to make up the story by interpreting the pictures. So what you can do is you can show various pictures and ask them, can you make up the story? What happens here? Huh? Do you think that man looks very angry and the boy looks very yeah, happy? Things like that. So make up the story. So what do you think is happening here? So let them come up with some storylines. Now, making up a story. Now, this is like making up a story without a book. Make up a beginning, such as once upon a time there was a little bear in the jungle. Take turns adding one line into a story at a time. So, how I do this with my children is like, what do you want to hear? Like, which story do you want to hear? So somebody says, I want to hear a story about a lion. The other one says, nay, nay, I want a tiger. Then the other person says, I want a bear. So what I do, okay, say okay, then we mix all the characters. So once upon a time in the jungle there lived a lion and he had a friend who was a tiger. Like that, you can, follow through. And let them also come up with ideas. Huh? So one person will say, nee, nee, the tiger was not his friend, they were enemies. So say, okay. Like, let them lead. Thank you.